it takes discipline. It takes being in community to realize sometimes you have to borrow hope from people to show up and be consistent in it. But honestly, it's, you know what you need to do. Real estate is so basic.
Yeah.
But we're not doing the basic things. We're doing the loud things that aren't vital.
The shiny objects.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then we're frustrated like why it doesn't work, because our industry is oversaturated with mediocrity.
Yes.
If we tune ourselves to what the mediocre people are doing, you're going to find yourself out of the business really quick.
Yes.
Focus on the basic things. Be consistent.
Yeah.
Momentum is a real thing.
Hey everybody, I am joined by my good friend, Shayla Wilhoit, broker owner, RE/MAX Heritage. Shayla, thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you for asking me. It's an honor to be accompanied by you.
Oh, come on. Okay, now let's hear most importantly, let's hear about Shayla. So give us Reader's Digest version, your backstory, your background. How did you get into real estate, and what do you operate currently in real estate?
Yeah, it was never anything that I intended to do. I didn't even really know that it existed. Got into the business in 2006.
Okay.
Of all times, you can imagine what getting into real estate was like in 2006. Prior to that, I worked for 8+ years in the court system.
Oh.
So I was an administrative assistant for a district judge. I knew all of the wrong people, and I finally realized, because I would go into the store and people would talk about all the people they would run into, and I'm like, yeah, the ones I'm running into, I'm not really waving at and having conversations with, and that's not me. I mean, you know me, I want to connect, and so had somebody reach out to me. They were doing a rebrand, splitting with their previous business partners, and so had talked to me and asked me if I had ever been interested in real estate, and you know me, I'm always like, tell me more before I say yes. So met with them and felt like it was a great match.
Okay.
I was with them for, goodness, I can't do the math when I'm put on the spot. I just know I've been in the business for 20 years.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
And I'm very loyal when things match my vision, match where it is that I want to go and my core values. So I was with them for, I think, at least 8 years.
Okay.
What I found stepping into, we'd have a weekly meeting.
Okay.
And every meeting I would step into it, and it was always the same conversations, right? Like, what's your view of this? What should we implement? What should we do?
Yeah.
And there was never any movement. And I don't like being stagnant.
You felt stuck.
Absolutely, because I feel like we only get one shot at this life, and we want to make it the best.
Yeah.
We want to be the best. And I'm not talking about success.
Yes.
I'm talking about just that internal desire just to grow and evolve. And I was we had an open office space, and was sitting at a desk and got the phone call from a RE/MAX franchise sales because I was doing well.
Yeah.
And he said, have you ever thought about owning your own office? And again, never even thought that was an option or an opportunity. Keep in mind, my current broker was sitting behind me.
Sure.
And of course, I'm like, tell me more, but don't tell me more now, right? Let's schedule some time to meet. And at that time, gosh, I don't even know how old I was. That would have been 2013 when I purchased my first RE/MAX franchise.
Okay.
Was very uncomfortable. Had no idea what was in store for me. But I've always listened to this internal nudge that's like, there's more. Lean into it. Even though I was fearful, I didn't know the full direction.
Sure.
I just leaned into it. And so 2013, bought the office with 2 other business partners. Sold it for profit after 4 years because I was joining David Weisman in Kansas City. So he had his office in Blue Springs.
Okay.
Was looking to branch into the Lee Summit area. And I'll never forget this because this is such an important part of my story when you talk about leaning into, that nudge.
Yeah.
He calls me and I'm standing outside of my driveway. Keep in mind, I've lived in this community for 19 years.
Wow.
I knew everybody, right? I would go to the store. My kids were in school. We were just connected into the community. And he said, hey, I really need to know if you're coming. Because at that time I was unsure. And it was because I was scared, right? I'm like, we traveled to Kansas City for ball and things like that. And I was standing outside in my driveway and he was like, I need to know if you're coming. And I tell you, the words I will come came out of my mouth. I hung up the phone and I went, what did you just do to me? Seriously, like I get this tingle, this just feeling right now, even sharing that story with you.
Yeah.
Because had I not said yes to that, I wouldn't have experienced all the things. I wouldn't have met my husband. I wouldn't be a broker owner of 3 offices. I wouldn't be inside of this incredible brand again so many years later, not have met you. Like the passion that I have for just growth and transformation is just truly the story of my life now that I look back on it. So thank you for letting me share that. Hopefully
That's amazing.
It wasn't too long-winded.
No, not at all. It's amazing because you did what a lot of people fail to do, and that's take the leap.
Yeah.
Right? Because the leap is scary. Like, you didn't know what the outcome was going to be. You didn't know what the future was going to hold.
Right.
But you just trusted that gut feeling that this was the right thing.
Yeah.
And it's proved to be an incredible opportunity for you. And now, so thinking back of the person that said, I'll come then, and the person you are today, how much personal growth has happened between those two people?
Tremendous. Like I wouldn't even recognize that person in the driveway today. And so many people look back on all that and they're like, oh, I would change this. I wish I would have done this different, that different. I am one that can sit here today and say there is not a single thing that I would change about the ride. Even after I said yes the first 6 months, I was crying myself to sleep.
Now that's an important one, because some people would try to leave that out to make it look or sound better.
This is not going to be a sexy conversation because you're not going to buy into that, because then you're not relating to it. You don't think like, oh, I could do that. Yeah. But where I'm sitting right now, Ben, like it is just, I'm so grateful and so humble for the opportunities that have come up along the way. It was a lot of reading, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of tears and questions, but I continued to persist. Like it was, I didn't die, and I use that phrase a lot now. They're like, well, I don't really want to do this, and I'm like, you're not going to die. You're not.
But did you die?
I know, and it really brings good meaning back to that. So, I wouldn't even recognize her, but I know that she would be proud looking at who I am today.
That's awesome.
For sure.
So, okay, so you made the decision. First 6 months, understandable, it's like some buyer's remorse, uncertainty, but you persisted, you kept at it. So then fast forward from that point to today, high level, what's transpired since then? Because you joined David, he was branching out into that market, and now what does it look like different today versus then? What's happened in that amount of time?
Yeah, so when I first transitioned over, I wasn't a business partner then, but I made it very clear I didn't want to sell what I had to step into being an employee again.
Sure.
But I knew that I needed to build the relationships. I needed to build familiarity, to the environment. And so fast forward where we are today, we're 3 offices, 137 as of today. It was 136 yesterday. Awesome. And just a newfound love, not just for the business, but for the people. Just seeing how they're wired and how we can impact and inspire them to just really lean into what they long to become, right? Not just in the business, it's what can the business do to fund their life. So
absolutely. This is remarkable. So, I know that our industry by percentage is more female than male, but I think you would agree. I would say there's probably fewer female owners in this, and I don't know why, but I just see that to be kind of evident today. So what is that shown to you, or what does that mean to you to be in a position now? Because I know your heart, and I know you love impacting people. You genuinely care about people. But has that created any conflict or issues for you, or like what does that look like? I don't know if that's been your vision of what you're seeing down there.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I'm, again, not one when I see, the differentiator, right? When you're not seeing a lot of women as business owners and some of those things. Really up until the last year, we've had a lot of celebrations, and I was starting to recognize that I'm truly in the minority. And I don't say that in a negative way. I say that in an empowering way, because I think for women, the more we see other women lead, and the way we lead is extremely different, right? We're leading with a lot of empathy and a lot of heart and just pause and understanding. And it's nothing against my counterpart, strong men leaders. But it's just different, and it's good. It brings a beautiful portion, to businesses. But I sat back at one of our celebrations, and our regional owner at the time was going over all of the people that impacted him over the course of his life. And it was one male broker after another. And I didn't have this like disconnect of, ugh,
Yeah.
I don't like that. I was like, what a beautiful opportunity.
I love that.
But I never looked at myself as, you're able to help lead the way, because at 47, walking around here, you see so many young people, and you start realizing, oh my gosh, I'm the older crowd.
Yeah.
But my hope is that they're inspired by me being on panels, me, being in connection with other people, that they can be in this seat too.
Absolutely.
And that's what I want to prove. So I want to do it gracefully. So
I love that. And I, to your point, I'm seeing that change, which it should, and I think it's great that it is. As we think back, I've heard Dave Lineker talk about back when he started, right? That it was a very different landscape back then.
Right.
And so there's been a lot of progress in this direction. And I see you're just doing an incredible job. You're a beacon for everybody that's around you. But you also have an incredible culture at your office. And I want to touch on that because I think, David, your partner is wonderful as well. Ashley's incredible. So this is not just a you thing. I know it's a group effort. However, you're a huge part of that culture. And if David was sitting right here, he would say that. I know he would. So what does culture mean to you in your office, and how do you build it and protect it?
that's a great question, because we have seen just in the last year a tremendous reflection of what we've focused on over the years. It's not something that changed overnight, because keep in mind, the office in Lee Summit, there were, I think, 6 agents at the time. So we were inheriting, some of the things, and you just try to navigate it a little bit. And then you realize, in conversation, going through the courses, having, conversation with other leaders, that they're following us, right? They're doing what we allow them to do. And it takes a lot of boldness to be able to, one of my business coaches says, he's like, sometimes you have to break a bone to reset it. That too
That's a great saying.
That's scary too, because you could risk losing all sorts of people. But because we didn't operate that way in the beginning, and we were just adding to be adding, because that was the noise, not necessarily from, our franchise, but that's all we knew to do. Well, then you realize just the disconnect. As a leader, did I enjoy walking into that office, or was I like, oh, great, here we go.
Sure.
I'm going to have the one agent that's going to complain about everything we do, even though I put my heart and soul in it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, one day it was like, no, this is what we're building.
Yeah.
And what we build around will attract who we want.
There you go.
Before I was out there like, just come. I didn't know how to have those meaningful conversations. It's really a lot around our core values, who we are, and communicating every day by the way we act, the way that we talk. Every sales meeting I open with something from our mission, our vision, and our values.
Awesome.
Sometimes it's even just one word and going deep with that, because we can hear the word impact or empower. And we're like, yeah, we know what that means. But I'm like, let's go 3 layers deep. And you start seeing the connection. I want agents to call out each other. Where have you seen somebody impact you this week? So now they're living it.
Absolutely.
It's the voice in their head that they're experiencing. And I can sit back and see them interacting with one another, challenging them, encouraging them towards our core values and our culture. I'm starting to get the most agent referrals for recruiting because they are part of something that's not like anything else.
That's
they
amazing.
recognize that it's a family, it's an environment. It's like a country club. Everybody goes there because they want this experience. They want, the people surrounded around them to have the same enthusiasm, have the same focus and the same values. So I don't know what that turning moment was for me, other than I was tired of not leading the way that I knew I needed to. And just to have that boldness to go, you know what, I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off. And if half the people walk out, I have to be okay with that. But I knew that this was the direction that we needed to go. So
you got to be true to yourself, right? And
absolutely.
I think a mentor of mine a long time ago talked about the difference between vision-based leadership or fear-based leadership. And that's kind of what I'm hearing you talk about is fear-based leadership would say, I need to show up the way they need me to so that I don't lose them. It's this scarcity mindset. Whereas if I'm being authentically true to myself, I'm going to lead in a way that is who I need to be for the people I want to attract.
Absolutely.
And so you've made that transition over time, but you're attracting people rather than taking whoever you can get, which is incredible.
Absolutely. And you lead better that way.
Absolutely.
You live better that way because you are fully inside of what you believe in, what you value, and there's not that resistance of,
Yes.
people pleasing is a real thing, especially in this business.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Because agents, I'm a 1099. I can go anywhere, and you feel like you need to be all things to all
Yes.
people to keep all people. And then it's like, no.
Yeah.
I mean, you said it well in one of our things where it's like, if you focus on your target, then it shuts out the abyss and gives you this really bullseye focus.
Laser focus, yeah.
And that was a turning moment for me too, because it's like, no, there are people that believe the way that I believe and
Yes.
want something different. I just need to be bold enough to be not the loudest voice,
Yes.
but be the most consistent voice in any market. And I feel like it's really come to life today. So
That's amazing. And what you just said, I think that's the key too. It's focusing the message and tailoring it to the audience I want.
Absolutely.
And just for clarity, we're not saying that some agents are bad and some are good. That's
Right.
not the point here. It's some fit into the culture you've created that you want to create and some don't. And that's perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
We're glad to do business with all the agents, but it's about who do I want, who's complementary in my core versus who isn't going to see value in that, right? Because some
Absolutely.
people may not be looking for that, and that's perfectly fine.
Absolutely. I want to touch on something because it is a big deal to recognize that we're not dismissing any human being.
Absolutely.
Right? I had an agent that was operating against our core values, and because I am a people person, I have to reflect a little bit because I care.
Yes.
I want lives transformed, but I can't want it more than them. And I had to make the hard decision to say, hey, I don't think we're matching up right now. Should that ever change, I want you to give me a call back.
Sure.
But right now, I don't think that we're a good fit based upon this. And I felt like it was a respectful conversation to have. It was hard to have. But it really allows you as a leader to be very precise on the words that you use,
Interesting.
how you depart with people, because even that breakup,
Yes.
even if she or he never come back,
Yep.
my hope is that some point they'll be able to look back and go, wow,
Yeah.
I'm glad she called me out on that because now I behave differently, I show up differently.
Sure.
That's my hope. It
Yes.
isn't just to attract them back, it's I care about them and their lives.
Yes.
If we do business together, great, but they can do that anywhere. And that's what I tell
Absolutely.
them. You can do that. I'm not telling you can't do that.
Sure.
You're just not going to do it here.
Just not a fit here.
Absolutely.
No, I think that's so important because, again, that's, in my opinion, in my experience managing, and I know this is probably true for you, when we're talking about the importance of culture, we can say the right buzzwords, we can say it matters, but one of the biggest moments to demonstrate our culture is when we're getting out of business with someone.
Yeah.
And how
Oh, yeah.
we get out of business, right? Because we can tell them all day long, but even when somebody's leaving, I can tell you the same thing from my experience. I've had people I've had to get out of business with, but we do it in a way that honors them. It's completely amiable and friendly, and these people would never want to come back and work at that brokerage with me again, nor would I want them back, but they were still referring agents to me because they
Yes.
realized this may not be a fit for me. But you know what? Shayla said this is who she was. This is who she showed up even when we got out of business together. Then if I know somebody looking for that, I'm going to send them to Shayla.
Absolutely. Because, even having those conversations, I'd had multiple people after, if we've had the conversation
Yeah.
and they're just this deep breath and this deep sigh and they're like, thank you. I thought this was going to be so hard and so bad. And I'm like, no, I respect you.
Yeah.
It's okay that we are not matching up on things. I
Yes.
respect you. And it's the same thing when you go in a restaurant, right? You outside of your business
Yeah.
can have these core values, but if a server brings you the wrong dish, do you still have those same core values in your organization that you have
Right.
outside your organization?
Right.
And I would challenge, broker owners and leaders to also ask themselves that. It's not, hey, I'm on camera, like, let's be this way.
Yeah.
It's, who am I when I run into the janitor and when I run into the server that brought me the
Correct.
wrong dish? How do I treat them and talk to them?
That's because that's who we really are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no mask on that.
Stream is probably the hottest thing I've ever seen. It's not just being able to have a laptop or a tablet, but now to be able to literally work the entire system of Bold Trail on your cell phone. That's pretty impressive.
It is having an AI assistant right in your pocket. I like the fact, one, it's in the palm of your hand. Two, it's using the AI to actually go in and see who you've been ignoring, who you really need to stay in touch with. And you can use the AI feature to actually have tasks done.
I've already gone in, made a couple contacts, asked it some questions of how do I re-engage some older leads, and it immediately said, oh, I can do this and this. Do you want me to do it? Yes, and it's done.
It's going to be just a game changer for helping you keep in touch with your clients on real time. Because when they're responding to you, you want to reach out and talk to them.
We're only seeing just the beginning of it, but once you open your mind to the opportunities and to what can be done, it's absolutely mind-blowing.
So culture, again, I want to touch on this. I want to get your takes. So culture, we've talked about. It's important to you. I know that to be true. What does it mean to you? What do you want people in your community to be saying about the culture in your office? What would you want them to describe it as?
It's almost indescribable. It's an experience that you have to feel and see. I want people to see that it's meaningful and it's transformational.
Okay.
We're not just attracting business owners. We're attracting human beings that aspire to live a life of abundance, and that means having the time, having the money. When I sit in a recruiting conversation and we talk about culture, it's hard to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to see,
Yes.
right? It's beautiful to experience. And I tell them, walk out there, pick up any card on the wall. Mm-hmm. Because every single person's going to tell you the same. I don't have to, because you hearing
It's
it
not
from
a hard
me.
sale.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. So to put it in words, it's transformational, it's impactful, it's kindness, it's collective, it's, everybody is rooting for one another. I mean, we're competitive in the business.
Yes.
But we're still colleagues, we're still support systems, we're still respectful. So honestly, I don't even know how to answer that. I mean, you simply asking me that question, I'll probably think about it the entire plane ride home. Like, if I were to say to someone in 30 seconds, like, what would that be? It's hard for me to communicate that.
So what are the core values?
Oh, goodness. We have a lot. It's
What were your
integrity.
top three be?
Integrity.
Yeah.
Doing the right thing even when no one's watching. Have a can-do spirit. Have a my pleasure attitude. Those are just a few that I can think of. The honesty one is huge. Being accountable, understanding, what that means, being respectful in all things and in all ways. We have probably 12, honestly. 2 or 3 of them probably feed off of all the other ones.
Sure.
If you're honest and kind and respectful, I think any of the other ones just kind of fall into place.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So now I'm curious. So you took a big leap of faith, stayed consistent with it, stayed true to it, holding to who you are. You continue to develop as a leader. You're not stagnant. I know that about you. So you're growing. You're attracting agents to your company, and that will continue to happen, no doubt. What are you seeing right now in this market? If we're looking at agents in general as a population, if agents listening to this are kind of feeling stuck, what are you seeing being the biggest thing that's holding agents back in today's market? And what are some things you're helping agents do to get past those blockers, if you will?
Yeah, that's a great question. And a lot of pondering has gone into this over the last year. 2 things. We get into this business because we want to work for ourselves.
Yep.
Keyword work for ourselves.
Yep.
I refer it back to a college freshman often, right? You remember that first day you went into class and you dressed up and you showed up and you did all the things. And then you started recognizing a majority of the people around me aren't doing this.
Right.
So you mean I don't need to do this? And I too fell victim to it because I was like, I don't think my professor cares whether or not I show up.
Yeah.
Right? And so you start falling back. It's the same thing in the real estate industry. Very few people treat it like a business.
Yes.
A business means you know when you're open and closed. You know what your system and process is. You know what you need to do. You know what to say yes to and say no to. So it's just recognizing, yes, I get it, that you're 1099 and you work for yourself.
Yeah.
But
It's a double-edged sword.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it takes discipline. It takes being in community to realize sometimes you have to borrow hope from people to show up and be consistent in it. But honestly, it's, you know what you need to do. Real estate is so basic.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yes, it's not complicated. It's not without hard work, but it is not complicated.
No, because
yes.
you can hear 10 different speakers
Yes.
talk about the same thing, but in 10 different messages.
Yes.
It is so basic.
Yeah.
But we're not doing the basic things. We're doing the loud things that
Absolutely.
aren't vital.
The shiny objects.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then we're frustrated like why it doesn't work, because our industry is oversaturated with mediocrity.
Yes.
If we tune ourselves to what the mediocre people are doing, you're going to find yourself out of the business really quick.
Yes.
Focus on the basic things, be consistent.
Yeah.
Momentum is a real thing.
Absolutely. Money. We have a mentor that told us a long time ago that money is found in the mundane things.
Absolutely.
And the reason a lot of agents get stuck is because, to your point, they're looking at what all the people who are really loud on social are doing. And I'm not knocking any of those people.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But those things they're doing on social, more times than not, have nothing to do with finding a buyer or finding a seller.
Right.
And so going back to the basics, the fundamental things, that's where success happens. So then how are you, I agree with you completely, how are you taking that understanding concept thought process, how are you distributing that out into your offices? Because concept's great, reality sometimes and the execution are two different things. So how is that playing out for you all in your offices?
I'm so glad you asked that question. I feel like I've said that about every question. Little did I know that I would be talking about this, because no plan or preparation.
No, I did not tell her at all what we were
Nothing.
talking about on
Nothing.
purpose. Yeah.
So Matt Hargrave and I, so he's our director of development,
Okay.
phenomenal individual, leads with great heart and intention. We were sitting one day brainstorming, and I said, I feel like even though we want to work for ourselves, so many people still have that employee-based mindset, right? They're still looking for somebody to tell them what to do and when to do it. And we know, we're familiar with Workman and all the other things like point systems and activities and strategies that need to go into things. And I said, what if we created a schedule? They're going to cringe a little bit because, you know,
Sure.
the self-employed is like, schedule? What do you mean? Like, I got out of the business because I didn't want that.
Yeah.
So we created a schedule where agents, it is broken down every single day of the week,
Okay.
what they need to be doing to give them the points that they need in order to convert to the transactions that they say that they want. Everybody's schedule is different. Again, if you were to look at the schedule,
Yeah.
it is so basic. Write a note.
Yes.
Call these 3 people. Bull Trail's been phenomenal because
Yeah.
it's like, here's the people you need to call. It's just getting consistent with it.
That's so important,
schedule, note cards, phone calls, identify an open house on Monday, market it on this day, release it on this day.
Yeah.
And we still have people that will not do everything on their schedule.
Yes. Yes.
But now we've broken all of this down into, this is you choosing not to do what's vital.
Correct. This is your choice. It's on you.
Yes.
I love what you just said there because, again, I think we as office managers, leaders, oftentimes we try to complicate things.
Yeah.
Unintentionally, but we overcomplicate things
Right.
that should be simple.
Right.
And what you're doing is you're helping eliminate the noise because there's a ton of noise in our industry. You're cutting out the noise and the chaos, helping them focus in on these are the key things.
Absolutely.
And again, we've had a mentor that said for years too, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink, but you can pour a bag of salt down their throat. So like we need to go
Yes.
find thirsty people.
Yes.
And then we can help them, but I can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. And so what you're doing is you're simplifying, giving a process because a confused customer always says no. And if they
Right.
don't know what to do, they get stuck. You're bringing clarity to them.
Absolutely. Well, and you can if you understand the difference between willingness and ability.
Yes.
Then we know what direction and what path to go down because so on the schedules, we've tied in accountability.
Yes.
So now they're in small groups where they're going and reporting their schedule numbers out loud. And I always
Yes.
tell them accountability is removing the emotion.
Yes.
So when you tell me, oh, I can hold myself accountable, it's impossible.
Yes.
I respect that you think that.
Yeah.
But you can't remove your own emotions because we're a
Yes.
body of emotions. And so I had a conversation with an agent in the accountability, and we were talking about creating a time block.
Yeah.
And I said, I sense you're resisting, share with me why.
Yeah.
We just need to ask better questions because sometimes it's that one thing that they're like, oh my gosh.
It unlocks everything.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
She goes, I'm resisting it. It just feels resisting. And I said, okay, let me ask you a question. Is time blocking more resisting or causes more resistance in
Sure.
you than reaching the goals that you want, which one is more resisting? And she was like, I'm going to create my time block. She came in my office the next day. She's like, take a look at this. What do you think about it? And I said, what do you think about it? It's just, we're so quick to want to help. It's we got to be better question askers.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
We're all paid in direct proportion to the quality of the questions we ask. If we ask better questions, we will get better outcomes every single time.
So true. And there's some self-discovery that comes in that, right? We're not telling them.
And that's the key. That's exactly right. Like we all, you said it, we all want to jump in and help them.
Yeah.
We want to be lifeguards.
Yes.
And sometimes we got to be okay to let the silence do the heavy lifting. Ask the questions and just let them sit with it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if it's not their idea, they're not likely to do anything with it. We got to help make it their idea. So
it's painful for you.
Oh.
Right? As a leader, when you sit there and you watch them, you're like,
and 10 seconds feels like 10 minutes.
Yes. But when you recognize by your silence doing the heavy lifting and letting them sit in it, they're coming to the decision.
Yes.
So when we go in and rescue, we're not helping them. We think it's help.
Yes.
We're not helping them. We're, what's the word I'm looking for? We're enabling it.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? And so letting them sit in it, yes, it's painful for you.
Yeah.
But what's more painful? Not ever seeing them transform and become who they say they want to become because you don't have the patience to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
It's the hardest, especially for a high I.
Yes.
Like me.
Yeah.
I went through a lot of training to go, wait.
Yes.
Like, why am I talking?
Yeah.
You've heard that one before, and let silence do the heavy lifting. So key.
It's so important. And that's where I want to kind of wrap things, because this is a big topic in and of itself. So you are a high I. For those that aren't aware, this is the disc profile. A high I are the social butterflies, very gregarious, loves people. Right, and that is so true of you, Shayla. Like, I know that to be true. You genuinely care about every person in your office. I know that to be true. So how have you, as a leader in this role, broker owner, how do you balance that care and concern with the candor that needs to be showing up in leadership at times too? Because that, I'm guessing, you tell me, but I'm guessing because your behavior profile, you more naturally go towards the social side rather than the candor side. But I know you've developed the discipline for both. So how do you wrestle those, or how do you juggle those?
Yeah, you have to, I'm going to say this 3 times, consciously, constantly remind yourself. I have to consciously, constantly remind myself what situations deserve me to be the cheerleader. In what situations does that agent deserve me to show up and be the very bold leader that they want, right? They're not going to show you and tell you that that's what they want.
Yeah.
And you have to be conscious about it. You have to be bold about it and know if I care about someone, care also means that I'm going to share with them what it is that they need to hear. But there's a series of questions you ask to get to that point.
Yes.
It's been on a scale of
you don't
1
just
to
drop
10.
The hammer. Yes.
I don't go in with and even before I say it, I'm like, Ben, you know how much I care about you, right?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, they're
Smart.
like 10. If there's something that I felt you needed to hear right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, would you want me to share that with you?
Yes.
Nobody has ever said a 10. They're like an 11.
Yeah.
I'm like, how honest do you want me to be? Do you want me to be brutally honest? Do you want me to be and they're like, give it to me. So they've given me permission.
Yes, there's the key.
That helps the high I go, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not just going in with the hammer. I'm not just being reactionary with my words. I'm being intentional and proactive with it. And the respect that I get from that, they hear it and I see them feel it too. But we can hug afterwards and they say, thank you for that. Like, that's exactly what I needed to hear.
Yes.
So,
candor is telling people what they don't necessarily want to hear. They need to hear it, but it has to be done, to your point, through the heart and the lens of, I care so genuinely for the human being I'm sitting across the table from, that it hurts me not to tell them. It hurts them for me not to bring this up. And then to your point, it's all about the process of how do I get there?
Absolutely.
Like getting their buy-in, getting their permission, making sure they remember how I'm approaching this and why. And then all of a sudden transformation can show up.
Absolutely. I want to touch on something because what leads up to that moment is being a very intentional and proactive leader with your people that you have partnered with, right? You're not just adding them to your office and having a number. You're in relationship with them consistently, because if you're not in relationship with them and then you just go ask them, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how honest do you want me to be? They may tell you 5. Like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to hear that from you.
Yeah.
And then that's your cue I still need to be in relationship building, with them. So it's just key to remember you don't just jump into that either. It's part of building that relationship
You
in your
earn
office.
that trust. Okay, Shayla, so another question I have for you. So growing this company, looking at potential succession of business partners in the near future, right? So you've got a lot of stuff coming. What do you see in your business the next 3 to 5 years in the industry, in your local market, in the business? What do you see coming at you, and what are you doing to prepare for it?
We've been preparing for this market.
Okay.
We've been consistent with how we've developed agents, what our message has been. Yes, there's been some internal I'm not real sure, but looking at this market that we're going into, the professional, the unique agent, it's going to be so easy to stand apart from all the mediocrity.
Yes.
Just us attracting that type of agent and that type of focus. It's beautiful to sit here and say, finally, we're back to that, because we knew when the market was allowing people to be effective. Effective means, yes, you make a lot of money, but are you efficient?
Yeah.
Are you proficient?
There's a big difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
And so for me, I look at that and go, we're a no-fail environment.
Yes.
When we look at our system overall, you have everything you ever wanted.
Yes.
Right?
Everything you could need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You should never have to venture outside of our office to get anything. So to me, I'm excited about that. I know that there's a very specific agent that's going to be attracted to that even more.
Yes.
Because when you run a very effective business, you're not looking at the options, you're still looking at the price, right?
Yes.
Because you've been paid really fast. Everything's just about the money.
Yes.
Because you're tying your success to, I know what I know.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at it going, this is a beautiful opportunity for us to help people with the CRMs like Bold Trail and the follow-ups and the campaigns to be more efficient and more proficient.
Yes.
That is where you're buying back the time. So making the money,
Yes.
that's long-term sustainable.
Yes.
What they experienced before, they got paid really fast in a short amount of time. That's not a strategy.
Absolutely.
That's not
It's not sustainable.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So you're looking for business owners who want to do something and build something sustainable over time, and then you're equipping them with all the resources they could possibly need.
Absolutely.
So last thought here, as you're a part of a great brand like Remax, you're a part of a great company, multiple offices, what would you tell the agent or the broker owner listening who has some apprehension about the coming 2 to 3 years? Right? Because the market, we see it, I know your mindset too, like the market is going to be good. It's back to more of a normal market.
Yeah.
It's more healthy, more balanced, more sustainable. But some people never knew that market. Some people got in the midst of the chaos and the crazy unsustainable. So what would you say to the owner maybe? Because you and I have been in those shoes, and there's some months where you're like, man, that rent check is due, and man, the copier broke, and man, like all these things start stacking up. What would you say to that person going into a more normal market, or an agent kind of the same, uneasy about how to build a business in a normal market?
It's really looking at challenges as opportunities, right? And really asking yourself, who am I surrounding myself with? And why is this voice in my head filled with so much uncertainty, right? Why is that volume on 10 and the opportunity volume on 2?
Yes, yeah.
Surround yourself with a higher volume voice that's surrounded by opportunity. It doesn't mean, even though you and I are opportunity focused, it doesn't mean that there isn't some sense of pause or something that we need to think about the strategy.
Yes.
But really, it all goes back to the basics. I always tell myself, this too shall pass, but it will pass because I'm consistent in vital and basic things. So don't think that you need to react to the noise and all of the loudness. Look at the very basic, vital things of the real estate agent business.
Yes.
The very basic, vital things to a real estate brokerage, and do those things and do them with all your heart. They're very few things, right? So when you cut out the noise, like I've cut out certain people on social media, certain things where I have protected my space because of where I've wanted to go. It's who I'm around, what activities I'm doing, and finding yourself when you're starting to lift your chin a little bit and look around, get back to work.
Yes.
Get back down, focus on the thing, not the loud things, the vital things. They're not sexy.
No.
But what's sexy is you being able to look up after all of it's done and go, wow.
And see the results.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are an incredible leader. You're an incredible human. You are an incredible friend, and I'm so grateful you were on. Thank you for taking the time.
I am honored to sit next to you. It's so good, and I wish we had more time to talk. So Onward, my
Thank you.
friend. Absolutely. You're welcome. Thank you.